Or it says an app on your PC needs to
Download, install.
Cancel, I dare you.
No, you need whatever it cues for you to install. You need to install.
PC building. Why did they bring me in?
Okay. PC going computer.
Nice, thank you. All right, if you want to have your chips, you can have them now. No? Okay.
Lawn mowing simulator. Yeah.
All right, just turn off your monitor, please, Mike, Mika. There we go.
Okay. Take me.
You literally kicked my foot.
No.
Kicking it off.
You like it?
Okay, well, Micah, please apologize for kicking him.
Alright.
Okay. Micah, did he kick you?
He put his foot on mine so I couldn't move it, so I pushed it off.
Okay, so before we start chart, I need... Jesus and Peter.
Wait. Bible.
Good job. So when they had eaten breakfast, Jesus spoke. You want to wait for him? Or...
Sure.
So when they had eaten breakfast, Jesus spoke to Simon Peter. Simon, son of John, he said, do you love me more than these? Yes, master. He said, you know I love you. Well then, he said, feed my lambs. Simon, son of John, said Jesus again, for a second time, do you love me? Yes, master, he said, you know I love you. Well then, he said, look after my sheep. Simon, son of John, said Jesus a third time, do you love me? Peter was upset that he asked a third time, do you love me? Master, he said, you know everything. You know I love you. Well then, said Jesus, feed my sheep. I'm telling you the solemn truth, he went on. When you were young, you put on your own clothes and went about wherever you wanted. But when you're old, you stretch out your hands and someone else will dress you up and take you where you don't want to go. He said this to indicate what sort of death Peter will die to bring God glory. And when he had said this, he added, follow me. So Jesus says this really weird thing, right, to Peter, like 3 times. He's like, do you love me? And how does Peter respond?
Yes.
You know I love you. And the third time he asked, he was like pretty much like, stop asking me. You know I love you. And then he says this weird thing about when you're young, you could do what you want, but when you're old, someone will dress you and take you where you don't want to go. Yeah, he's talking about his death. All right, what part's this? He had offered to help clear up after the dinner party. Indeed, he was eager to do so. We gave him a towel and he worked away with us, wiping pans and jugs. But he was still excited after the events of the day, and his mind wasn't really on the job. Once or twice we suggested he might like to sit down to read or relax, but he wanted to go on. Then it happened. He picked up the new crystal water jug that we'd been giving a few weeks before. He began to wipe it, but as he did so, he turned around to say something to the others. He didn't notice one of them turning towards him at the same moment until it was too late. He was crestfallen. I don't even know what crestfallen means. That's an interesting word.
Crestfallen.
Sad. Crestfallen. Sad and disappointed. He began to wipe it, but as he did, he turned around to say something to the others. He didn't notice one of them turning towards him at the same time. Till it was too late. So he had, a new crystal water jug that broke when he ran into someone else. He was crestfallen. We were devastated, but tried not to show it. He swept up the broken glass off the floor. He promised to buy us another jug. He left a little later in a flood of apologies. We struggled to think through what forgiveness would mean in a case like that. We were angry, of course, but we knew it had happened because he was just too eager for his own good. We thought about it a lot. Then a couple of weeks later, we invited him to a meal again. And this time after the meal, we invited him to help us clear up. Again, we gave him a towel. He looked at us with a stare of disbelief. We smiled. He helped. It was fine. So he's talking about they invited someone over to enjoy the meal. He helped clean up. But when he was helping clean up, he accidentally broke a very expensive crystal jar. And so then he's talking about, yeah, he was mad. He was angry and sad about accidentally breaking their jar and apologized deeply for his mistake. And so after a couple weeks, after working through their forgiveness, they invited him over again. And then they invited him to help clean the meal again. To give him another chance, right?
That's a dog fishing.
Yeah, and you think he's going to do that with John here? Yeah, Peter. Yeah, thank you.
Sean.
Jesus and
The book.
yeah. This scene between Jesus and Peter is one of the most spectacular interchanges in the whole Bible, perhaps in all literature. The most remarkable thing about it is that by way of forgiveness, Jesus gives Peter a job to do. When Peter professes his love, Jesus doesn't say, "Well, that's all right." Then he says, "Well then, feed my lambs, look after my sheep, feed my sheep." The three questions correspond to Peter's three denials. 3 for completeness, yes, but 3 also for reminder. The smell of the charcoal fire lingers. Peter's night of agony and Jesus' own night of agony returns. But because of the latter, the former can be dealt with. Jesus is the Passover lamb who takes away the sin of the world. Peter's sin included, your sin, my sin. But the way in which this taking away of sin is put into practice varies from individual to individual and from case to case. Is it just a matter of divine decree being issued, wiping the slate clean? From a legal point of view, to the extent that legal points of view are helpful here, John sometimes speaks like that, and so does Paul, but law is not the only thing at stake in this context. That may be fine. Is everything okay? So he's saying, Jesus asked, does he love him? 3 times, but then that is like, what did Peter do 3 times before? Right.
Okay. Do fine.
Yeah. So Jesus is doing one thing, he is forgiving him, but also giving him a task.
Like in a bonus.
He's commissioning him.
Yeah, right.
That's distracting, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, let's quiz Micah.
Material.
Okay. So how many times did Jesus say, do you love me? What we just talked about here.
Five.
No, it's how many times did Peter deny you?
3.
So how many times?
3.
Right. And so then what was Jesus' response when Peter says, you know I love you? He told him to feed my sheep. He told him to feed my sheep. So our request, do what you need to do to hear and be able to retain what's being said.
Yep.
Okay? But again, I need you to be focused and it helps him be focused too. So then, by Jesus asking him, do you love me? And then giving him
another chance.
Well, giving a command, he does one. What does he do about Peter denying him about the sin? What does Jesus do about the sin? He forgives him, but also commissions him. And that's how it is for all of us. Jesus forgives us, but then also says, now be the healing to the world. Call people to me. Alright. But the way in which this taking away of sin is put into practice varies from individual to individual and from case to case. It isn't just a matter of a divine decree being issued, wiping the slate clean, from a legal point of view, to the extent that legal points of view are helpful here. John sometimes speaks like that, and so does Paul, but law is not the only thing at stake in this context. That may be fine. There is nothing official on the record against us, but there may still be plenty in our memories and imaginations. Old failings, old sores, old wounds, like a computer with a faulty and virus-ridden software on the hard disk. We need to have it dealt with before we can operate to maximum efficiency once more. So, you're saying, like, even after your sins are forgiven,
You still gotta do it.
well, you still gotta work on yourself. You still gotta, like, sin hurts us so deeply, and Jesus says you're forgiven, but it has left wounds on us that we still got to address. We still got to get healing. There is nothing officially on the record against us, but there may still be plenty in our memories and imaginations, old failings, old sores, old wounds, like a computer with a faulty and virus-ridden software on the hard disk. Like when someone installs an auto clicker. We need to have it. It's both you and Jason.
No.
You guys both made the mistake. And so we had to reset the computer. Well, I mean, that's part of dealing with it. Like, it's like when...
Just a keyboard thing.
Yeah, and that's it. And we were playing big baseball, and I wanted auto clicking, and it was like going super fast, and then you saw this thing that was like had the main button. It's just auto.
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
But
Fine.
have you noticed, like, yes, I was disappointed with Micah, but then I forgave him, and I helped him fix the computer. And that's what Jesus does with us.
Nope, no.
And that's what Jesus does with us. He forgives us, but then he helps the healing process. Helps with our hard drives being dirty with viruses.
We're computers now.
There is nothing official on the record against us, but there may still be plenty in our memories and imagination. Old failings, old sores, old wounds, like a computer with faulty and virus-ridden software on the hard disk. We need to have it dealt with before we can operate to maximum efficiency once more. So Jesus goes to where the pain is, as he so often does. Is this why so many resist his gentle advance, like someone putting off seeing the dentist until they can bear the toothache no longer? He takes Simon Peter away from the others, as we see in verse 20. The beloved disciple is following them at a distance. They are probably walking slowly along the shore, and he asks the question that goes to the heart of it all. Do you love me? Actually, the words he uses very slightly. When Peter replies, the word he used for love is different to the one Jesus uses in the first two questions. Then in the third question, Jesus uses the word Peter himself has been using. But this is probably not important. John does say, after all, that the same question was being asked 3 times over. What matters is that the question is asked and answered. That's true. Thank you, Micah, for
You're
moving.
literally over there.
Okay.
No.
Oh, that's fine. Hey, Micah, can you like either move this way or move back? Thank you. Thanks, Micah. Here, I'll move the screen. Okay. Actually, okay. What matters is the question is asked and answered. And even more, that the answers earns each time not a pat on the back, not a there, that's alright, but a command, a fresh challenge, a new commission. Time to learn how to be a shepherd, time to feed lambs and sheep, to look after them. Not only is this a fresh commission, not only is Jesus trusting Peter to get back to fruitful work, and to turn his undoubted thought hitherto, wobbly love for Jesus to good accounts. It is more. Jesus is sharing his own work, his own ministry with Peter. It is, after all, Jesus who is the Good Shepherd. It is Jesus who has the task of leading and feeding his sheep and lambs, guiding them to and from pasture, keeping them safe from predators. He knows them and they know him. He has now given his life for them, but the commission of 2021 was quite specific. As the Father sent me, so I'm sending you. There's no getting away from it. And this is what it means. Peter is to share Jesus' task of shepherding. Here is the secret of all Christian ministry. So guys, this is a point to really key in. This is the crux of it all.
What's the point?
Here is the secret of all Christian ministry. So we all have a Christian ministry. Not just me. Everyone who clings to Jesus. Yours and mine. Lay and ordained. Full-time or part-time. It's the secret of everything from being a quiet, backrow member of a prayer group to being a platform speaker at huge rallies and conferences. If you're going to do any single solitary thing as a follower and servant of Jesus, this is what it's built on. Somewhere deep down inside, there's a love for Jesus, and though, goodness knows, you let him down enough times, he wants to find that love, to give you a chance to express it, to heal the hurts and failures of the past, and give you a new work to do. So you hear that? As many times as Jesus has forgiven you for not being nice with your body and words. You embrace him, accept the healing, and then you go help others learn that truth. That Jesus does the healing. There are not things for you to do to earn the forgiveness. So you hear that? You don't earn Jesus' love.
You have to win.
No, you don't even work for it. You just accept it.
It's just like this. Invite step.
Yeah.
Like a step. Like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, like,
Step that step right.
it's kind of like,
Like that.
it's kind of like your parents' love, right? Do you have to work to earn your parents' love? No, you just know no matter what you do, your parents deeply love you.
That's it.
And that's the way with Jesus. And you can make the relationship tough between you and your parents, but no matter what, your parents love you, and they will help you anytime you go to them. Like, hey, can you help me, Mom or Dad? It's that way.
A bit.
Well, even if they're busy, if it matters so deeply, they'll stop and help you.
Yeah.
And then we have a greater Father. Like,
Yahweh!
yeah, even though your parents are good, they still have faults. Here we have a greater Father who heals and forgives us. Yeah, he uses it to help us in our sin. These are not the things for you to do to earn the forgiveness. Nothing can ever do that. It is grace from start to finish. They are things that do out of the joy and relief that you already are forgiven. Things we are given to do precisely as a sign that we are forgiven. Things that will be costly because Jesus' own work was utterly costly. Things that will mean following Jesus into suffering, perhaps into death. In the last week, as I've been writing this, more Christians have been killed around the world simply for worshiping Jesus. Someone else will dress you and take you where you would rather not go. Peter will complete his task as a shepherd by laying down his own life in turn for the sheep. But even this is not something different from the call that drew the disciples in the first place. Follow me. Now that Jesus has taken the steep road to the cross and has proved that death itself is defeated by the life and joy of the new creation, he can ask for everything from those he has rescued, and know he will get it. Peter went from strength to strength. He was still muddled from time to time, as Acts indicates, but he became a shepherd. He loved Jesus and looked after his sheep. No one could ask for more. Jesus never asked for less. So you read Acts, right? Do you remember anything about Peter? Well, there's a point where Peter just royally screws up. But yes, Jesus still called him to be a shepherd. And help people. And that's it. We all royally screw up. Jesus forgives us, loves us, and then calls us to feed his sheep. Alright, we can start. Alright, I'm going to put this game on. Get some water because I am deeply thirsty. Holy garbage is hot.
Love.
Hit play. Keep it the way it is. Actually, oh, fine. Actually, that's the best that's gonna happen. Team. You did do that in the epic.
Oh, you can that.
Don't do that.
No!
Too
I
bad.
mean, if you guys can figure it out, you guys can try. But the thing is, you guys are on the same account, and so you guys are probably not gonna be able to play together.
Wait. Don't make a no.
So you right click, go back to straight online in your library. Go to library. So right there, okay. Then hit the little hover over it. Oh, it's running. So once you're done, like there's arrows right there. Close it. Wait for it. Don't click it again. Okay, let it stop thinking.
Well, you. The playground. No, it's such a billion times. Day one.
Holy man, I need water.
That's okay. Keep running. Keep running. Just keep running.
Alright, I can make a multiplayer.
Yes.
Are we done?
Scrap. Give me a scrapbook. I'm not. You the puddle. What? Did a paddle? Yo, plug out weapon, roll. Now what do I do? Do I whack the tree blow?
get it. I don't know if I've seen this. Here.
Menu, okay?
What's the theater?
Okay. What the tree, bro? Let's go, bro. Let's get right now.
Hey, Elijah. Now I'm trying to find the 10 postcard. 10 postcard. Where are you, Mr. Postcard? You out?
W.
Alright, it's time for the pixel searching. I'm gonna find that stupid 10 postcard. Nice. Hey, Mike, I just need to ask how you're doing at hydrating yourself. Good. Run this game.
Come on!
Now put it down.
Heal! Heal!
This is bell. That was very different. If I do.
Come on! Heal! Ha! Thunder! Deep freeze!
That's my leg.
Heal!
You whack the palm. No! Fight! You keep sniffing. Yeah, but they fight you.
Oh yeah.
It's just you.
Maybe you can build yourself a boat later. It seems like. Oh, you gotta watch out for the bats. Bats be crazy, man.
I like it right away, but I don't even. Wow, I read. What?
See ya! Deep freeze! Deep freeze! See ya! Ha! Thunder! Deep freeze!
I know it.
Come on!
He's asking how do you play. He's having a hard time figuring out how to place the campfire signal.
No, I still have it. Still got this
Here! Thunder! Come on!
Alright, in 12 minutes, my friends, we have to go through break step, okay? You hear that, Mikey, my friend? Thanks for her, but she forgot, so you're more than welcome to help yourself. Actually, playing this game, you could thank Brendan, because that's his account, and he just accepted free games all the time on Epic. I call it Something Survive. Alright, and 5 minutes.
Heal!
Alright, 4 minutes left, my friends, so we have to take a break, so. It's also being broken right now.
Heal!
In a minute, you gotta take a break, stuff. Go, Bishop! next step? You leave at 6. Whatever you want. Roll blob. Okay.
Bro, it was nighttime and I had to get cloth and I couldn't see anything, so I just saved me quick.
Alright, my friend. It's time, so... Alright. The beloved disciple.
I will.
Okay. Tips and just drink 1 level of your water, okay? That's fine. Alright, you ready? Peter turned and saw, following them, the disciple that Jesus loved. This was the disciple who had leaned close beside Jesus at the supper and had asked, "Master, who is it who's going to betray you?" "Master," said Peter to Jesus, seeing him there, "what about him?" "If it's my intention," replied Jesus, "that you should remain here until I come, what's that got to do with you? You must follow me." So the rumor went around the Christian family that this disciple wouldn't die, but Jesus didn't say he wouldn't die. What he said rather was this: "If it's my intention that you should remain here until I come, what's that got to do with you?" This is the disciple who's giving evidence about these things, who wrote them down. We know that his evidence is true. There are many things which Jesus did. If they were written down one by one, I don't think the world itself would be able to contain the books that would be written. They came back almost in despair from the dress rehearsal. The costumes were ridiculous. The set was bizarre. The director seemed to have no real idea of how the action would work on stage. Even with an opera, where the music is what really matters, it's important that the actors are doing something, not just standing around. But worst of all was the casting. The singer had gone to support, had an important part, but it just wasn't her. The character in the story was so different from her, there's nothing natural about it. She would have been better in a minor part, playing something that suited her temperament. The theme of the last section in John's Gospel is quite different parts that 2 of the main actors are now going to play. Peter and the beloved disciple have been on stage for much of the action so far. In particular, they have been important at the supper in chapter 13, at the arrest and trial in chapter 18, and in the resurrection accounts in chapter 20-21, but now their paths are going to diverge. And it is no part of the vocation of either of them to look over their shoulders and wonder why the other one is different. So you see that? So Peter has quite the action-packed life from here on out. And then John kind of seems he goes behind the scenes and he is writing things later. He's writing Revelation later. And so their paths are going so far different that Jesus is pretty much saying, stop trying to make the other person do your path. Peter's question, though, is quite natural. He and John, if it is John, have had so much to do, side by side. Now Jesus has told him, Peter, that he's going to have to follow him, not only in being a shepherd to the flock, but in glorifying God through dying as a martyr. It is the most natural thing in the world that he should ask Jesus whether John will share this fate too. But the most important thing for the future is for both of them to learn that God makes no mistakes in casting. And it feels like that from time to time, no doubt, there are many times when faithful Christians look with puzzlement and at last envy at one another and wish that they could swap places. The part of Christian obedience, part of accepting our commission as the language of our forgiveness, is knowing that we are called to follow Jesus wherever he leads us, not wherever he leads the person next to us. The fate of John is, in fact, the most likely reason why chapter 21 was added to the book. In order to get to the point, the writer had to tell the whole story of the fishing trip, the seaside breakfast, and the conversation between Jesus and Peter. Without that, the comment in verse 22 would have made no sense. So what was going on? One possibility is that the author was getting near death and knew that there was no reason in anything Jesus had said why he should not die as all the other original apostles had died. But rumor had gone around the early church based on a misunderstanding of what Jesus had said to Peter, that John would be the one original apostle who would remain alive until the Lord returns. The return of Jesus isn't mentioned elsewhere in the book, but this shows that it was assumed throughout. We may suppose then that the elderly apostle or someone else at his dictation and suggestion wrote chapter 21, added to the book that had already been finished. Indeed, verse 24 looks like a note from someone else, either a scribe or a close friend, to certify that the beloved disciple really was the author and could be trusted. A new version of the book could then be circulated after the death of the beloved disciple to make it clear that this had not upset Jesus' intention. Jesus had never meant to say anything definite about what would happen to John. He had only meant to say something definite about the fact that it was none of Peter's business. I might say to a child, please come and help me in the garden. The child, dragging her feet, might look at her brother and say what he's going to do. And I might answer, supposing that I want him to fly to the moon for me. That's what got to do with you. That doesn't mean that I really do want him to fly to the moon. Jesus didn't say that John would stay alive until his return. He only said it was none of Peter's business. John, or perhaps a trusted friend who put all this together after his death, knows that the book already has a proper conclusion, but he finds a way of writing another one that is almost as good. It starts off in much the same way. There are many other things that Jesus did. We should remember that, like most people telling a story, our author has selected as well as arranged. Very few people write down everything that they might have written, every single thing that they know about a personal topic. But this time, instead of telling us why he has written the things he has done, he tells us what would have happened if he tried to write down all the other ones too. The world itself wouldn't be able to contain the books that would be written. Well, we know of larger libraries and a much larger electronic storage system than anything a first century author could have imagined. But that's hardly the point. Even if it might be technically true that every single deed Jesus ever did could be written down, and that the books, though numerous, would ultimately be finite in number, and nonetheless the point remains, the world wouldn't be able to contain them. They would be too explosive. It would be like trying to play a wonderful symphony on a broken piano. It would be like trying to serve a gourmet meal in a snack bar. It would be like God's breath inside an ordinary human being. It would be like light shining in darkness, and the darkness being able to master it. The world couldn't take it. But the ultimate point is this: once the Word has become flesh, all the books in the world can't do justice to it. Nothing less than flesh can now do justice in the meaning of the word. Your flesh, my flesh. Books can reach a small way out into the world. Our lives and the power of the Spirit can reach a lot farther. Jesus' disciples are sent into the world, not just in the first century, but in every generation. The world remains the object of God's saving love. The reason why Jesus died, he was sent into by the Father, and now he sends us. And whatever part we are called to play, okay, we're almost finished and we're done with the book of John.
Say that, the giant little. Oh, it was a big word.
Sorry,
Huh?
you said something.
Oh, I was just saying over there.
Wing, 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 wing.
Wee ball game.
And like that, we're done with the book of John. That's crazy.
What's the biggest book?
Psalms, actually, I think. If I remember right. I'll double check. Yep, it's the longest. Yep, that's correct. Psalms. It also has like the longest chapter. It's like there's a Psalms, I forget what Psalms it is. I could easily look it up. That goes to that starts each portion with the Hebrew alphabet, and it's actually quite an amazing masterpiece.
Wait, are we leaving at 5:30 or 6?
6. Here, let's start. Let's reading. Let's go down. So Robin shows a picture of a cat, and then just read. He asked a question about allergies. The shocker. What? Beep boop boop beep.
Okay.
I think I am, but then I could be also having an allergic reaction to something in the air at the same time when I'm around cats. I won't know definitively until I take an allergy test, like at the doctor's office, but those tests are expensive.
And how do they do that?
No, well, it's like from what I heard, and this is what I heard from other people's accounts, is they take a plethora of like needles, and they pretty much then hit your skin with it, and like how your skin reacts to those mini little needles that have like a tiny something on them. This is my guess. If I remember this, what I heard, I could be completely wrong. Then that will determine your allergy, I think.
It's so close, Charlie. To the end of it.
Alright, so let's just finish the last part. We'll do a quick talk. And then the cool part is, since we finish a book, you remember what we do when we finish a book? Well, yeah, tomorrow we get a treat, and also we don't have to do adventure or games tomorrow. Then the next day, you don't have to do adventure or games. As we celebrate to the next book.
Do you still read too?
We have to read, but we don't do adventures or games tomorrow. But
So that's the treat?
also like a literally like either a drinking or eating treats.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, usually the treat is like something at a convenience store. The milkshake's like $4. Usually a convenience store treat is like $2. So I'm probably going to say just pick something at a convenience store. But the ultimate point is this: once the Word has become flesh, so who's the Word that has become flesh? Jesus, God, Jesus Christ. All the books in the world can't do justice to it. Nothing less than flesh can now do justice to the meaning of the word "your flesh, my flesh." I am unmuted. No, I'm not.
Talk the thing about talking.
Because I'm not scrolling down.
Oh!
Yes.
Silly goose. Books can reach a small way into a world. Our lives and the power of the Spirit can reach a lot farther. During at the very end of the chapter, it's stated that you can't put everything Jesus does in the book, the world will contain it. Which, trying to say like, oh wait, but you can, defeats the purpose. When it comes to engaging the world, human flesh will engage the world a lot deeper. The Spirit in us can engage a lot deeper than trying to write everything Jesus did. Jesus' disciples are sent into the world. We are his disciples. not just in the first century, but in every generation. The world remains the object of God's saving love. The reason why Jesus died, he was sent into by the Father, and now he sends us. So as the Father sent Jesus into the world, now he sends us into the world. And whatever part we are called to play, we are to go it with his words, ringing in our ears. So this is the words that we gotta always have in our ears. You will have trouble in the world, but cheer up, I have defeated the world. Jesus is the ultimate defeater of sin and death. Sin and death. But he has defeated the world, but the world is sin and death. So we celebrate in his rescue. We are victoriously living and that knowledge that he has ultimately defeated the world of sin and death.
Yeah.
And actually the book of Revelation shows even if you die, even if the world kills you, you have your resurrected body. There's the ultimate victory of sin and death.
Yeah, buddy.
So as Jesus has a new body, we look forward to our new body as well. Yeah, a resurrection body as well. All right, we can start and we can play till we have to go. So tomorrow we get a treat and no adventure game we have to do. not do that yet, Bob. We're not gonna allow growth. No, we're not. Alright, this one. First, I want to install something. I'm tired of these pop-ups. Searches on it. With me, obviously around, but we're just making it so you no longer have stupid pop-ups. Yeah, this will disable. This will make it filters out pop-ups. Whenever you use a search engine, this is the one. Heck, you actually use the mobile. For instance, log in. You got to bring your password.
Thunder!
Yeah, but I got to see me flying grenade.
Heal! Heal! Thunder! Deep freeze! See ya! Deep freeze! Heal!
Oh, wow, this sounds so much better.
Well, I'm actually. I'm already
Heal! Come on!
really brave. So you're on brave. We're enemy tab. We're attempting Yes.
That's all I eat, bro. Whack! Big boy! Let's not fighting that! Big boy! I'll put
Heal!
Come on! Bye.